Everybody. It's nice to see everybody, and we want to welcome our viewers to the Evidential Mediumship channel. And we want to thank you for joining us in the sacred energy of Circle this morning. So today you're going to be able to watch Rene, Joann, Adrienne, Tammy, Candice, and Effie, and myself as we connect with people who have crossed over to the other side and deliver messages from them. And we hope that by watching our mediums at work, you'll come to understand that the loved ones who you have lost are in fact still with you. So can we ask you to please join us in our opening prayer? Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Please help us to open all of our senses, physical and spiritual, so that we can receive your messages without interference from our own minds. We humbly ask that you make this circle an uplifting and joyous experience for everyone in attendance. Please ask the spirits who recognize the voices in this room to join us this morning so that we will know that they watch over us, love us, and protect us still. And please allow us to deliver the information presented by Spirit with grace and compassion, in complete trust and respect of your infinite wisdom. Amen. Okay, and I think we have time for, I'm going to say 9 minutes each, okay, with feedback in the room, if that works. Let me set the timer up. And whenever anybody gets a link, just go ahead and jump in.
I can start off.
Rene, thank you. Go ahead.
You're welcome. Well, as I was doing meditation this morning, I had a beautiful woman step in. I feel she's grandmother. She has this simply beautiful silver white hair, and it just sparkles. She's talking about going to the beauty shop weekly and how many comments she would get on her hair. I also feel, as she said, her hair sparkled. She also sparkled in your life. And I'm going to stop there to see if anyone understands this woman as their grandmother, or it could be mother, but I feel like it's grandmother.
I'm listening. Oh, and Carol.
Carol and
Adrienne?
Adrienne, okay. What would you understand, Carol?
I actually can take all of that information for someone who's a grandmother, but not my grandmother.
Okay, okay. I was also feeling drawn to you because I was hearing Carol as I was hearing. So, and Adrienne, what do you understand?
The same as Carol.
Okay, okay. Let me continue to see who this is for. When I ask her to bring something to my attention that you would understand, she's bringing lace through. Would you understand lace, either of you? And this could be lace curtains or lace covering on a table or lace tablecloth is what she's talking about, lace. Would either
I can understand it.
Okay, yeah. Adrienne?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, let me continue here. She's also showing me with a rolling pin, and she's rolling out a crust. She's going to make a pie. Would either of you understand pie with her, making pies?
I know that she cooked, but I don't know what she cooked.
Okay, okay.
And I'm kind of the same as well. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, all right. He's showing me a small box, and I feel this box at one time held a ring or a stone that either of you may have been given from her after her passing or before she passed. I'm just seeing a small box. It looks like a ring or some type of crystal in it. Would either of you understand a ring with her?
No.
No. Adrienne?
I would not have one. I don't know if somebody else would.
Okay. Let's see. This box is, you show me, it's black with red, like writing on it. Would you understand like a little box that may have been given to you, Carol or Adrienne? No.
not me. No.
I'm going to set that aside and see what else she has. She's also talking about jams and jellies. Would you understand that?
I'll say I may understand that in not the way you think.
It's funny because as I said that, she started to chuckle too, like you, and she's talking about somebody being in the jam. So whoever this sitter is, she's talking about them being in a jam. Would you understand that, Carol or Adrienne?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not aware of it for myself, if that's the case.
I hope not.
Okay. She's talking about it's just funny. It's not anything major. It's just like you're just frustrated. Like, why? What's this? What's this? What's going on here? Why am I jammed up? What's going on? And she's just laughing and she's just like patting you on the shoulder saying, it's okay, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's just like a little bump in the road. It's just like it's not a major traffic jam. Get over it. Don't worry about it. She also has a sense of humor. She's very cute. Um, she's also talking about a son. Would you understand a son around her, Carol or Adrienne?
I understand the sun around her.
Okay. Adrienne?
She would have one in spirit with her.
Okay. Okay. Carol, is her son still living that you know?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel this son is living. So I may be with Carol, but continue to listen, Adrienne. Is this man like on the taller side with dark hair?
He's on the taller side with he's not blonde, let's put it that way.
No, dark hair.
Yeah.
Almost like black or dark brown. It looks like it's parted and combed nice. He has like an attractive style to it, not just all over the place. I feel like what she's saying about him, he was prominent in his work. He put forth a good work ethic. Would you know this about him?
I wouldn't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, okay. And she's just saying that she's proud of him for sticking with it and 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 getting to the roots of it and just really making things work in his business. He's saying clocking in on time. She's saying, and he put in overtime too. She's like, and I'm proud of him. I also feel like she had religious beliefs too. Would you
Very
understand
much.
that?
Yeah.
She had a strong faith.
Yeah.
And with that, she's saying, keep the faith, baby. um, she's just very cute. She has a very light, happy-go-lucky personality. She's putting something in my hand that looks like a photograph. Trying to figure out what's on this picture. It's a black and white picture, so it's an older picture. I don't know if you have this picture or her son has this picture, but she's trying to bring forth this black and white old photograph. Would you understand an old photograph with her?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And with that, what she's saying, sometimes we look to see if it's black or if it's white. Sometimes you have to let go of that and just look at it maybe through rose-colored glasses to give you a different perspective on it. She said, all things aren't black and white. There's no good or bad, right or wrong, left or right. Sometimes you just got to stay in the middle and put on your glasses to see the difference. And she said, not having a judgment towards that decision and just let it be. So I feel like there's a decision coming up, and she's just saying, it's okay, it's okay. And she's tapping you on the shoulder with that. She just wants you to know she's around you, she's watching over you, and she's just putting a little bit of that lightness in your life right now to make things a little bit easier for you. And with that, I'm going to leave her with love and light. Thank her for coming in and thanking Spirit for allowing me to serve today. Thank you.
Oh, Rene, that was beautiful.
Mhm.
So that was my mother's best friend. Okay. And she had that absolutely beautiful hair.
Oh,
It
it
was
was amazing. Yeah.
just stunning.
Yeah.
Okay. But then the funny thing, I had to laugh. Okay. You were talking about the jams and jellies.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I don't think that was meant to be a literal reference. I think what she was trying to refer to was is that everybody in that family had a J name. Okay. So there was
Oh,
Janet, Jean, Julie, James, Jeff, okay, and Jared.
wow. Wow.
Jams and jellies, you know,
Yeah.
but
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so
they were all
funny.
J names. Okay. And then
Uh-huh.
the other thing that was kind of interesting was you were talking about the black and white photo. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And her son was our babysitter when we were growing up.
Oh,
Okay. And he went on a family vacation with us to Canada. And I just got a home movie back from Legacy Box from
uh-huh.
1967. Okay. When we were really, really young. Okay. And he's in that home movie. Okay. Water skiing. You know, and it
Oh,
was funny because in there he is, and he's like 15, something like this, you know
oh,
what I mean? And but he's in our home movie, so I think that's what she's talking about.
oh, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. It was great to hear from her. She does not come in very often, and
Oh,
you know,
that's
I
nice.
love
Does
hearing
her
from
name start with a J too?
it starts with a G.
G.
Starts with a G.
Wow.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome. That was awesome. Thank
Oh
you.
gosh, yes, it was. All right. Joanne, are you feeling it? All righty. Thank you. Go ahead and step on up.
I am. Rene, that was beautiful.
Thank you, hon.
And thank you. I love it when you're here.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
us started.
It's been a while. I'm sorry. I'm
Welcome
back.
back. Um, so I have a gentleman. He's tall. I was sort of, the interesting part about being mediums, whoever talks the most is the spirit that comes through. So I feel like this, I'm with you, Rene, but everyone else listen. This is my thing. So this gentleman is coming through. He's tall. He's a handyman, very encouraging. He's gentle. Um, it's sort of like people would see him because they would. I just felt like he was tall, but he was like a gentle giant. I felt with him. Um, he had a special toolbox, and when he was coming forward, he wore like a mock turtleneck, and he had shared with me he had a favorite, like plaid jacket, like it was like a wool jacket.
You're with me.
And
You're with me.
okay, okay.
That jacket's right
And
here behind me.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's what he shared with me, had a favorite wool jacket.
Yeah.
Initially, I when he came through, I thought it was a shirt, and he was like specifying now mock turtleneck with a
Huh.
wool jacket.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
There it is.
Um, yeah, thank you. May I work with you, Rini?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And he's beautiful. So he is showing me, okay, this is what he's sharing with me, jackhammering the corner of your home. But I feel that he was very handy. He had done everything. I want him to be more specific. And I want to just preface that we work with one another and we want to be very specific because our loved ones come in often. And as mediums, we always want to have information that we're not aware of. So in saying that, he is now sharing, this is interesting, I'm just go with it. There is a cardinal, a specific cardinal.
Oh,
And and with that cardinal, I don't know, he just has me say show a cardinal, just say cardinal. And I'm trying to lean into the cardinal. And that's all I get. So I'm asking him to feed me another information. Um, but he just, I want to lean back into that cardinal. It's either, um, it's like a symbol, but it's like a figurine, and then also I feel that it's also a flyby. That's all I feel like it's a flyby. Would you understand that?
yes,
Like,
yes, I
okay,
do.
thank you,
Yep.
thank you. And he's now showing me, well, he's actually sharing with me that there is this gentleman that you're aware of that will be working with you during the construction, and he is sharing with me that he is like this is interesting. This is very like, and even mediumship, we get a little woo-woo, but it's just, whispering in his ear, like he will be guiding him. That's what he's showing me through this process.
Um,
And I feel that he also is like the front man. Would you understand that? Like
yep,
leading it.
yep,
Okay, thank
exactly.
you.
Yep,
Okay.
yep,
And I feel that he is helping him on the other side to sort of lead him to
yes.
do things right. And hmm, he's now presenting your son. I feel that also that your son will be part of this project, but I feel like it's going to be at the latter part when everything's sort of set up. He feels more comfortable with that. That's what he's sharing. He's now showing me towards your fence. There's something that there's a repairment. There's something about your fence. And being that he's a handyman, I think he just looks around your property. And there's a part in your yard that he's showing that's kind of wobbly. He wants you to sort of, I don't know if you're aware of that, to
Yes, I
repair that.
knew. I was just talking about that. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Um, it's interesting. I love his energy. He's like, I feel that he repaired a lot of things in this life, but he's also watching things on the other side and helping you get things straight as far as repairs and everything. Hmm. Rene, you have so much loved ones on the other side. I feel like your mother's peeking through. Okay. So your mother's coming forward and mm, she is showing me a specific baby doll. Would you know about a baby doll, a
Yes,
specific baby doll? Okay.
yes, yes.
Um, and she is showing me that like you were really caring for the baby doll and wrapping it around as you were a child and everything, taking very vigilant care over this baby doll. Um, and she is sharing with me that you've always been that way since a little girl. She's always seen that big heart in you. And with that, she also wants to share that it's your time to receive. It's your time to receive. You've been a giver all your
Mhm,
life, and
mhm.
it's your time to receive. And I also have your sister. I love it. Your family's
Same.
but she's a partier, so she wants you to have a good time and continue to have a good time.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
And the memory she's showing me is the 70s look.
Yeah.
That's her favorite time with the roller
Yep.
skates, and tall socks, and the short.
Yep.
And I feel like you know how pink. I don't know if everyone's familiar about this, but this is an American show. But Pinky Tuscadero, like the shiny jacket,
Yep.
like that's what she's coming through. Like it had the collar, the striped
Oh,
collar. And the image she's showing me, she's really good rollerblading or roller skating. I'm sorry, I
oh,
rollerblading, roller skating, and I gotta say your sister was a show off. Like
yeah.
she was really good, and when she was
Yep.
good, I could see
Yep.
her taking off her jacket, like making everyone know that she's there. With her message is, it's with her essence too, that enjoy the process. Um, Even though it could be very difficult, enjoy the process. And I feel like they're all chiming in and want to share that we are here for you, Rene. We are here for you.
Oh,
And I'll leave their love with you. Thank you.
that was awesome. Ready for some feedback on that one?
Sure.
Oh my gosh, that was my brother, and he was a handyman. He could fix anything. He fixed stuff at his house and my house. And when he said jackhammer the corner of the house, he had a problem similar to mine, and he did it his entire self, and he jackhammered it out. But the guy that I picked to do the job, that is exactly what he said. I have to come over here near the corner, and I'm going to jackhammer through this cement to put metal pillars down. And I'm like, can't you just put them on the cement without doing that? He goes, no, they have to be jackhammered. So that is wow. My symbol for my brother is the cardinal. And when I walked out the other day, the cardinal was in the tree and just passing by real quick and was singing. And I said, hi, John. And then my sister with the 70s, we're into 70s music, and I'm supposed to go see a 70s band tonight
Mm.
and keep on dancing through all this hassle and stress. And my mom with the baby doll was my sister's that
Mm.
passed at the age of 12. And I always wanted her baby doll, and it was sacred to my mom. And she's like, no, but every once in a while she would take it out and she would let me hold it and hug it and rock it and put it away. Well, right before she passed, she gave me that baby doll.
Oh,
And I
okay.
feel like they're all standing around me and helping me and guiding me to the right people for this big job. So
Yeah, thank you. She showed me you wrapping it around the Afghan. I feel like the Afghan that she made also, she was showing me. Thank you.
oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. That was awesome. So sweet. Thank you.
Hey,
Made me
Joanne,
cry.
that was wonderful. That was just so specific, Joanne. But I actually have a question for you, if you don't mind, Joanne.
Mhm.
You know, because we have people, who are watching us on YouTube, and they may not have understood the significance of the cardinal specifically. So, can you explain to our viewing audience in general what is the significance of the cardinal in mediumship?
Well, okay. I believe that we all hold a specific symbol, like when we see things. Like for me, it would be, I don't know, I don't have Taiwan's, but mine is different. And so what happens is that our intuition, like we know that's our loved one, but it symbolizes loved ones that have crossed over. And for everyone is different, but for what we know is the cardinal symbolizes a loved one that's crossed over. And we
Okay.
have many. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And so basically, if people who are watching this see a cardinal, that could be someone who they know who is in spirit then. So,
And I just posted a cardinal this morning and saying, missing you, John.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Who would like to go next? Adrienne, thank you. Go ahead.
So mine is a little interesting to start with, and we'll see how it goes. I'm getting reference to an H name like Heather, and I do see a female, and I feel like she's actually reminding me of somebody I know. But I feel like I'm getting references to like Southern cooking, and I'm seeing like mac and cheese. I'm seeing like Southern style foods. And then I also get the feeling that this lady's very energetic and on the go, um, fun to be around, a fun person. So let me kind of check and see if anybody can understand this female. And I also want to throw out there, I'm not 100% sure if this lady has passed or if she may be living. That's where I'm getting a little confused in that. Does any, Rene? Okay.
She is in the living because I was not going to say anything. And then you're like,
Okay.
I'm not sure if she's in the living. And I'm like,
Okay.
that's who I'm thinking of.
Okay, that's interesting. And I was questioning that because I also feel like I have a female coming in behind her that would be in spirit. And as we know in mediumship, or as we have found out, a lot of times they will reference living people, our loved ones will.
Mhm.
And so I feel like I have an older female in spirit. Um, she feels like she's very grandmotherly to me. I don't know if this would be this female's grandmother or she's just a
She did
grandmother.
have a grandmother she was very close with.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Because I want to say she feels at least a generation above the living female. Um, and the lady in spirit, I feel like has like either gray or white hair. It's like shorter, like maybe shoulder length or a little bit shorter than that. Um, and I feel like it's kind of like it's straight, but it's kind of like full of volume, so it's kind of like poofed out a little bit.
I'll have to check with her on that because I don't know if she ever described her grandma to me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. But you said that this first woman is living.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's making reference to like the chest or the heart area. Like I feel like I'm getting like heaviness here, and I don't know if that's physically something or it's more symbolically, like having a heavy heart type of thing, like emotionally. Okay. Would you understand like there might be I feel like she's referencing emotional hardships.
I can understand that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And she's kind of talking about the living female and kind of masking that. Like I feel like she, even though like there's this other stuff going on, like still putting on a happy face, still, showing up for people, still showing up for work or whatever.
Yeah, I would understand that with her. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But I feel like underneath there's like this heaviness feeling that she's talking about. Let me see why she's bringing her in today. So, would you understand, Rainey, that you're in contact with this living female?
Yes.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yes.
I also want to say, like, she's talking about there's a similarity between the two of you with you and the living woman. And I feel like it's as far as like hardships and she's kind of saying like emotional turmoil going on.
Huh?
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of referencing like the two of you kind of being each other's shoulder to lean on or a shoulder to
Yes.
cry on
Yes.
at times.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because I almost feel like it's like you guys kind of, it's like giving pep talks, like,
Yes, we do. Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
Because that's what she's kind of talking about, and like how you guys kind of bounce it off one another, like
Yep.
if one day one of you's down, then the other one's like being peppy and like, hey, you can do this. And then it's kind of like switching, like a back and forth.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I feel like she's kind of referencing like you guys are really good for one another because you can both relate to so much of what the opposite is going through, but you can
Yeah.
also help so much.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah, like she's really coming in today, I feel like, because I'm asking her, why she's here, and she's saying like she just wants to say like she's so grateful for the friendship you guys have. Um,
Aw.
because it's almost like you're like soul sisters in a way or something like this, where you're like they're really helping one another. Um, okay, this seems a little random. Would you understand the reference to cotton candy or something like cotton candy? I'm seeing like maybe it's cotton.
Would, yeah.
Okay. She like all of a sudden is showing me that. And then she's showing me like an ice cream cone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But I want to go with like a classic flavor of ice cream, like butter pecan or something like that.
Yes.
Like, okay. Because I feel like she's referencing it's not, it doesn't feel like it would be like, I don't know, the more like fruity or something, or it feels like more classic,
Uh-huh.
like a classic type. Um, Okay. Would you also understand the reference to like a carnival or a fair or something like that? Because I feel like she's talking about either going to one, having gone to one, or there's one coming up, and I feel like she's like, you guys need to go. So I don't know if
Okay.
there's like a random
I know we
state
had talked
fair.
about in the fall and then it never happened. We were talking about going to a festival, but it didn't happen. So maybe there's something she knows that's coming up.
Okay. And I feel like it's like stuff like this. Like she's talking about getting out and getting out there because I feel like there's kind of a reference to understandably having a lot of things going on, but like it's also getting your mind off of that on occasion. You know what I mean? And like getting out and having fun, getting out and getting away from thinking about it, even if it's just for a few hours.
Mhm.
Um, because she's like, that's good to do. It's good for the soul. Um, let me see what else she has to say here. Would you also understand the reference to taking a drive? Like I feel like I'm just driving and I don't know that I'm going anywhere in particular, but it's
Yep.
almost
She
like a
loves going on
mindful.
road trips. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because she's talking about like doing this too, where it's just listening to music
Mhm.
or radio, like talk
Mhm.
radio or something like this, but it's like
Mhm.
clearing
Yeah.
of the
Yep.
mind.
Yeah. She loves to put the radio on and drive. Yes.
Okay. And I almost feel like this is like almost a meditative thing in a lot of ways because it does, it like helps to just kind of get things out and okay, now I'm good.
Yeah.
Like that's the feeling I get from it. Um, if there's anything else. She just really adores your guys' friendship and she just adores how you guys help each other and she really just wants to come in and like she's just so grateful for that because I don't think you realize how much it helps her and vice versa. Like it's just yeah, it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I appreciate her. She's an awesome woman. Yes.
okay.
Awesome
So
woman.
yeah. So with that, I'll just leave her light and love and I thank her for coming in and thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was so sweet. That's a very good friend of mine. I haven't actually seen her for a while because of everything that she's going through and everything I'm going through. And she loves taking road trips and putting the radio on and just driving. She loves that. And she was like raised by her grandmother. She was very, very close to her grandmother. She had a deep love for her grandmother. And we do help each other through our situations. If it's with our homes or with our health, where they're talking to each other and, you know, planning these road trips or these festivals together. So that was awesome. I'll have to let her know. She'll be happy to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Beautiful job, Adrienne. But I have a question for you, if you don't mind. I think that this could be a little confusing for people who really are not used to mediumship. So can you possibly offer some insights to the people who are watching as to why a living person would come in first? Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, of course, there's a lot of different, possibilities there. But what I have found is, especially in our circles, a lot of times our loved ones, like they'll still see very much what's going on with us. And so, they'll bring in somebody that's still living and they'll understand, like, hey, this is going on in their life. Um, and so they'll kind of just bring them up to talk about. And yeah, it's an interesting concept and still learning the whys about it. But yeah, so
All right.
that's my understanding.
And that was interesting too, because she just went through last year a big thing where they had to dig out her foundation too. So she gave me a lot of suggestions too. So
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's doubly interesting then. So,
Yes.
all
Yeah.
right. Good job, Adrienne.
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
Tammy has asked to go next. So if you want to go ahead, Tammy. Thank you.
Okay, so I have a man here, and he seems pretty active. He shows me um, he shows me being on a trampoline. In fact, he came in like bouncing on a trampoline, and and he's bouncing very high on this trampoline. And he seems to be able to do backflips. He can do twists, like full twisting, kind of one, and so I do feel that he's very acrobatic or gymnastic. And he also shows me doing floor exercises. So he's doing those, I'm not sure what they're called, but where you do a backflip and a backflip and a backflip, across the floor there. The name Carl came in, but I'm not totally convinced about that because of the way it came in. Let me just give a couple of other things that he was showing me because I said, okay, I would like some real nice solid information. I do feel that, well, you know what? I think I'm going to check in first, and then I'll check with these other things. So, does anyone know a gymnast? He does feel like he was a direct family relative. He's showing me he would be on the maternal side. Someone who had been a gymnast or at least was very proficient on a trampoline at some point in their lives? Nobody yet? Okay. So the other thing he shows me is after doing this, I feel like this is one segment of his life. Afterward, he does show me being in a kitchen. He's in a kitchen. He's frying something. He is in the kitchen with a female, and I feel that he's very kind of playful with this female. He kind of does one of those side kind of hip, connection things as he's cooking, and he's the one very comfortably frying something up and kind of flipping it in the pan. So I feel that he's got this energy where he's kind of light and fun. I would call him light and fun. He also shows me that he liked music, liked dancing. He puts on a 45 and he's dancing. He's also showing me a martini glass, and he drops in like an olive into the martini glass. So, and does a little cheers. So this is somebody who I would say was super active, athletic, fun, could at least fry an egg, in the kitchen, and liked dancing, just happy. He's kind of happy and up. Who is he here for today? Who am I with?
I can understand some of this, but he was not a gymnast, but I have the trampoline.
Okay, okay. And Carol, you can understand some too?
I can understand a lot of this, and I know nothing about his early life to the point where he would be a gymnast. Okay. But everything like the 45s and the martinis and the happy guy makes a lot of sense. And his
Yeah.
name's Carl. So,
Okay.
You might
All right.
be Carol because I can't take Carl, but I can take the
Awesome.
45s and the music and the dancing. So you might be with Carol.
Okay, thank you. So Carol, I'll work with you if that's all right.
yes, thank you.
Okay, and Rene, we keep listening because I'm not. So let me let Carl speak. Okay, speak, Carl. Tell me what you want to say here. You've got the stage. Okay, let me just connect back in with him after that. Hold on one second here. Okay, all right. So he's also showing me that he would have done something. Oh, so he would have used an old-fashioned typewriter. I do see him. He's in there like typing something, and he types. He also shows me. Oh, he's got a really good sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
Humor because he keeps like typing things, and then he's showing me how he wasn't happy with whatever he was turning out because he shows me like throwing a lot of balls of paper into a trash can and like shooting hoops with these balls of and we've got like a trash can full of balled up pieces of paper. He also shows me I feel like he writing was some important to him because he does that and then he shows me like kind of walking around thinking like you would imagine a writer would, like he's really trying to get his creativity going or kind of figure out how to connect a plot. He's got a cup of coffee or some, or tea. It's coffee, he said. It's coffee. He walks over, kind of looks out the window. Now he's making it's really funny. Now he's making a reference to like My Fair Lady because he's singing, by Jove, I think I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. And so, he sits back down and he starts he starts typing again. I just want to be sure as I'm checking in with you, Carol, did he write? Did Carl write? Am I interpreting his communication correctly?
He was involved in one very significant writing project that I know.
Okay. And out of curiosity, I'm assuming that was his sense of humor. My Fair Lady, does that have anything to do with?
Oh, that's just his personality to a T.
Okay, I just wanted to understand that a little. Okay, thank you. So let me okay. Okay, he just showed me also that he was wearing glasses because I adjusted mine and it was just the funkiest feeling. It was as though we were doing it at the same time, almost like he made me do that, even though I do that a lot anyway. So that was really interesting. So, okay. Would you also understand? Let me just go back to, okay, hold on one second. Let me just let him come back here. Okay. Okay. Would you understand? Were you ever at Carl's house? So that
No.
if he's describing something, okay, because he's describing something to me, and I'm thinking if you're not there, then you probably wouldn't understand it. But I'm going to put it out there because that's what he's showing me because we value what they show us. And so he is showing me lying back. He's got his arm up and he's lying back and it looks like a canvas. It almost looks like one of those camping, like a camping cot or like it's canvas and you would lie back on it and kind of stretch out on it. So he is showing me that. And okay, he's really very funny. He's gone back to the kitchen. He's kind of brought me back to the kitchen with the woman who's in the kitchen there. And would you also understand he smoked a cigar on occasion?
Yes.
Okay, because the funniest image, he's showing me like a half apron with frills on it. He's it's tied around him. He's frying like an egg, but he's got a cigar. So it's really a pretty hilarious vision he's giving me here. This woman who's with him, they have a very good relationship. She understands and appreciates his sense of humor. They seem to be working well. He's showing me them working well in the kitchen, and I feel like backup singer is what he just gave me. She's my like backup singer, and so there's a comfort level with the two of them that is really pleasant is the word I want to say. Warm, trusting, pleasant. And let me just get a quick message for you. Okay. Keep the faith, baby. I'll leave you with that with him. He's awesome. Thank you, Carl. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that was wonderful. So Carl was a former bandmate of mine, and you had this sense of humor down to a T because he was the ultimate practical joker. Okay, so and the other thing was is I didn't meet Carl until he was about 70 years old. So if he had that gymnastics background, I would have no idea. But it also may have been just a blatant falsehood because he was that way. Okay, he would just make things up. But he was also a singer. Okay, and the singing was very, very important to him. He was just excellent. And the you were talking about the writing that actually had to do with a thing with believe it or not, estate planning, where he was trying to uh, do some things with respects to his will that he and I had a lot of conversation about, because I was kind of involved in the same type of thing that he was. And so we're sharing information about that. But he pops in from time to time and he always brings sunshine in with him when he comes in. So I want to thank him, Carl, for coming in and,
Awesome.
Oh, I
gave the same message as your friend.
Yeah. So, but now I had a question for you, Tammy. Okay, you actually made a reference that was interesting. He had glasses. Okay, and you said, and I don't know even if you remember saying this, but you adjusted your glasses, and then you said, "Oh, he's adjusting his glasses at the same time." Can you explain it? Did you physically feel it, or what happened there?
It was so strange. It was a feeling I have not had this before, but it was as though it was such a strange. It was so strange. It was as though, well, this is the only way I can describe it, and it may sound very cliche. It was like we were one. It was just, and it was one of those. You know how we'll get sometimes these very strange kind of split second things that happen and they kind of take you back. And it was that. It was like this, wow, we're both doing this, but it was as though we were like one person doing this. It was totally new and novel for me. It was just this split second thing that happened. It's never happened before.
Okay. Now you're bringing up another question here. Okay. And that's the question of the split second. Okay. Because I would venture to guess that there are people who are watching us who have had things happen like that they've just blown over. Okay. And they've ignored it because they didn't believe that it happened. What made you catch that, I guess, is the question that I have.
Well, I think because, as mediums, all of us, we're so tuned in to especially when we're working, our senses are so heightened at that time. Oh, I'm getting a little zingers right now. our senses are so heightened when we're working that we're hearing, feeling, sensing, seeing, everything. And so I think it would be hard for any one of us to have missed something like that because we're just in that state of awareness, I guess.
Okay.
And I think it does happen to people who aren't mediums and who, aren't working in the mediumship world. And it's just to pay attention to it when it happens. It's really interesting. Any of these types of things that happen, pay attention because
That's great advice.
all into
Great advice, Tammy.
so yeah.
Okay.
My
All
feeling.
right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Carol.
All right, Effie asked to go next. So you want to go ahead, Effie?
Sure. I'm very, very drawn to pull through Joann and Adrienne. I do have two people, but I understand mom is on the other side, and there's a very, very close relationship when she comes in, and very, very much man and husband and wife, husband and wife. But I also understand in the family, I feel like there's a priest, very religious in the background. Would you understand this, Adrienne or Joann?
I know of a priest.
And he's in the spirit world.
Yes.
And your mom, I think, is in the spirit world.
Yes. My mom's in the
Okay.
spirit.
I'm going to start with mom. I feel this very, very, she's very much around you, Joanne. She's very, very close to you when she steps forward, and just feelings of love, harmony, and just dedication to you. But also, I feel like as a mother, she took her role very, very seriously. I understand that you have her wedding book in the home. Would you understand this?
No.
Would you understand someone else that has the wedding book?
No.
That's okay. Would you understand that your mom and your dad were married forever?
No.
Then it may not be with you. We're just going to stay with this. I'm just going to go open it up to the circle. Does anybody else understand this?
I do.
And Carol, what do you understand?
I understand mother in spirit, a priest in spirit, and I understand the wedding book being with somebody in the family.
I want to work with you, Carol, and try and keep listening. Now, mom, with mom, just very much a nurturer, very, very much around you. Same as Joanne is what I felt. She's very much a constant in your life, but that's also how she was when she was living. The two of you are one. And would you also understand that your mom and your dad's relationship was very close?
Yes.
And would you also understand, I'm going to work with a priest coming in, that I feel like he was an altar boy at one time.
I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me.
And I feel like this priest that comes in is a grandfather in the family, in your family.
No.
So he would be a friend of the family.
He's a friend of the family in the grandfather tier.
And would you also understand he was Orthodox?
Yep.
And would you also understand this dedication and devotion to the church is very, very, very strong. And he makes me feel like I am Jewish. I'm reading the Torah. I'm very, very much in this moment with him.
He's not Jewish, but he's very devout.
And would you understand he was not Orthodox, Carol?
He was not Jewish, but he was Orthodox Catholic.
Thank you. Thank you. And this priest makes me feel, would you understand that he would also wear all black?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And would you also understand that the church that he was in, he was there for a very, very long time?
Yes.
And would you understand that because of him, the people came to the church? He has a way of drawing them in, but he also has a way where he would speak with his fingers, his hands when he was at the front pew. Would this make sense to you?
Yes.
And would you also understand that his devotion to, I want to say Christ, which is what I'm feeling with him, was so strong, and everybody just praised him. And I feel like this man, they came to him for miracles because he had this healing gift to the other side where you can connect to the other side, but not like you and I can. It's more of a healing.
That's very true.
And would you also understand that they would go to him when people were sick and they would ask for a healing?
Yeah,
And would you understand he came to people's houses?
I wouldn't know, but I would
And
guess. I'd
and
guess.
and I feel like he would have heard about them from your grandmother, that she knew of him. Would you understand this?
I don't know how that happened.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. You're this priest, and I'm going to keep working back to mom. Mom, when she comes in, would you understand that when you look at mom's wedding book, when you see it, it brings memories of love when you see this book?
Yeah. Mhm.
And would you also understand that she would have had these bridesmaids and the flowers were not real? I'm looking at flowers that were fake back then.
I don't know. Don't know.
The there's a sense I feel like the bridesmaid dresses. Would you understand your mom had bridesmaids?
Yes.
And would you understand there was like a blush or like a lilac color, the dresses?
I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay. Just to go back now,
Black and
um,
white photos.
that's why. Now there's with mom just coming in very very closely, and she just kept such a close eye on you. There was a way where because of her, that's how you found your independence. And I feel like she would say, I'm leaving for 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Don't answer the door to anybody." And she could trust you. Would you understand moments like this with mom?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And would you also understand at the end of her life, when she was passing, that you tried to make her feel as comfortable as possible?
Yeah.
And there's moments where she's making recognition where you would take her feet and you would make, she was cold. And I feel like you wanted to give her circulation in her feet. Would you understand this?
Um, I covered her feet, yes,
Now,
with
would you,
blankets.
now, would you understand there was a moment where you also gave healing to your mom when she was
Um, yeah.
putting your hands on her? And she makes me also feel how you would go to her on her head where she was and just hold it, just to be still, just to make her know that she's going to be okay because you're close to her. That this is again that bond that comes in that started from childhood. And there is a way where I feel like when you're close to her, or where I want to sing, so I feel like I'm bringing music into her thoughts. So would you understand there were moments when you were singing to your mom?
Yeah. Yeah.
And would you understand like some of those were like lullabies from the past, but also music that she would that you would be practicing with her, but she also would come to see you when you were in performance.
That's true. Yeah.
And would you also understand that you're on stage? And then one of the things I feel like I know how you know how to play the piano. And I know that there was a moment she goes in the piano where you were nervous. You did it you on the stage where you said, "Just a moment, let me gain my composure." And she's right here. She's your number one cheerleader, kiddo, in life, your mom.
Oh,
Now, going back to the priest when he comes in, I understand a name of like Nick in the family. Would you understand this?
I don't know.
Or Rick? I'm gonna let go of the name. It's not. But this priest that comes in, such a very, very caring man to the people, a man of the people, no ego with him, very, very, very humble. And I
Mhm.
feel also the church was struggling for money to tithe, and people were trying, but he kept it going. That's his discipline with his faith, his religion. And I also understand he would have children, this priest. Would you understand this?
Oh, I don't know. I
That's
don't
okay.
think
Something
I,
to look back to see if he
yeah.
had children and they were part of the church. And I feel they
Okay.
also became boys. They were altar boys. Now, your mom steps in very closely with the priest. And I also feel like when your mom comes in, there was her rings. Would you understand you would have her rings?
I do not.
Now, would you understand that your mom would have rings of a double loop with your dad together? She would string them, the
Uh,
engagement ring.
no. No.
Would you understand somebody else has your mom's engagement rings?
Yeah. Mhm.
And would you understand that these rings, I feel like I melted them and made something out of it?
God, I hope not.
Then would you understand that they hold it close to their heart and they would wear it sometimes?
Um, I don't know.
That's okay. There is also I'm being made to talk to you about a ring with a pink stone and a purple stone. Would you understand your mom had those rings that were family rings?
Um, she had family rings, but
Those
not with
stones.
the pink or purple stones. No.
I'm just wondering with my time, both of these people that come in so strong, so loving, so caring for you. And the priest that comes in has such a religious component to him. that this was his drive in life, and he very much supports you on the other side, Carol, and drives you in your spiritualism and your mediumship. He's just around you, just such a strong, strong figure. I want to thank both of them. Thank you so much, Carol.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Effie, that was really interesting. Okay. So I want to start with the priest. First of all, tell you that the priest is the brother of the woman who Rene brought in with the beautiful hair. Okay. And the other thing is that that's the first time that he's come in. Okay. But everybody, as you said, just adored this man because it's hard to explain, okay, but he gave off such a vibe that you couldn't help but want to be a better person when you were around him. It was very difficult to explain, but he had that connection to God, and you could feel it, just a really, really interesting man. But that was his sister that he brought in. And the other issue is that that's the first time that he's ever come in. Okay. Which I find very fascinating. And then and it was great to hear from my mom as well. Unfortunately, a lot of that I just like the color of the wedding dresses and whatnot. I just don't know because they're all black and white photos. But but you had my mom down to a T too. So now I have to go back to you and ask you, okay, since he's not part of the family, okay, you have any insights as a medium as to why two unconnected people I mean, they knew each other, but they weren't connected, like family wise. Why would they come in on the same reading? Do you have any insights?
Well, first, I'm practicing two people coming in together, and three. So,
Okay.
and the
So
other
you
one,
set that intention.
I set the intention for two people to come in.
Okay.
It didn't matter if they were related or if they didn't know each other in lives, and to try to work with two spirits at the same time for the sitter. And I've also, I'm practicing a lot of clairsentience. I really wanted to feel the person, who they were in life, what they were like, their personality, because I get a lot of practical evidence, and I'm trying to combine it with personality, because I feel that has so much more depth in a reading when you bring the personality in, when you really, really blend with who they were, not just the practical evidence. So, and your mom is, we all know that your mom is in the spirit, and she's very, very close to you, and she's a constant force around you. But this man also that came in, the priest, his devotion to what he did, his cause to what he did in life is very much you too. A person you need to justification, a cause fighter, helping everybody. That's all you too, Carol. That's all you too, caring about others, even though it's not in the religion as an Orthodox priest, but you go out of your way to make sure to help others, a humanitarian role that you have inside you.
Oh,
And this is the priest coming in for you, also acknowledging that inside you.
wow. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating, Effie. Thank you for that. Really, really appreciate the insights there. Whew. All right, Candice, are you feeling it?
Yes.
All righty. Go ahead, girl.
Okay. I feel that I have a lady with me, and she was making me aware of that she would have been involved in healing. And she also showed me an angel that she may have gifted you, or there's something to do with the angel. Can anybody take this so far? Rene?
I can, Rene.
Okay, Rene. And would you be able to understand? I felt like she was showing me Strawberry Patch doll with the freckles.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. And I feel like I'm also getting reference that like friends forever. I'm seeing like an angel wing and another angel wing and coming together to like make a heart,
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel that she's also making reference to like wearing winter gloves. But can you take that she didn't like the season of winter?
She did not live in the season of winter, but she did love winter.
Oh, did she love winter? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she did love it.
Oh, okay, okay. Um,
Just
and
for the day.
and I felt that I was also hearing that song, Wind Beneath Your Wings. Can you take that? Did you love that song? Okay. I feel that she really valued her time that she got to spend with you. And she's also making me aware of that you got on like a house on fire. Can you take that?
Say that last part again?
You got on like a house on fire.
Yes, yes.
And would like get up to mischief together, because I feel like she could have a bit of that personality.
Yeah.
And she's making reference to like handsome men. Can you take that?
Yes, I would understand that. Yes.
And I feel like I also joke with you about, or like really wanting to win the lottery. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it's what we would do with it. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Because I feel that she had like a really giving heart.
Yes, she
And
did.
she it would really like bother her when people were underprivileged or didn't have a lot.
Yes.
She didn't like to see people suffer, you know. And I also feel that she would have believed in like miracles, and I feel like she prayed for a miracle.
We both did. Yes.
Yeah, and I believe in like Archangel Michael and Raphael, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like she would have worked with them a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. We both
Okay.
did.
Yeah, and I feel like you would have learned a lot from each other, you know, just as learned like a lot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see what else she's giving me. Can you take a kitten that may have come into her life, or like
Okay.
one that, can you take that it was rescued or that it needed a home?
Yes.
Okay. And I feel like I might not have everything, but I can quickly get things together to make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She would like adjust to situations very quickly and easily. I feel like nothing would have been too much trouble or like a problem for her.
Correct.
I feel like open arms, welcoming.
Yes. Very
Okay.
much so.
And do you know if there was like a lady next door who she would have cared for or like given food to
Yes. Mm-hmm.
make sure that she was okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that they would talk a lot and
Yeah.
communicate all the time about each other's news. But I feel like she wanted to make sure that she was okay. Like, okay, you're okay today. You know, you're
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because it made her feel good inside.
Yes.
Yeah, so she was accommodating. And I feel that she's also making me aware of like if she was unsure about people, that she would give them the benefit of the doubt, you know?
Yes, she did. Yes.
Okay. And I feel that her country was very important to her, and I feel that she would sing the national anthem. Can you
Yeah.
take that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. She was patriotic. Yes.
And she would say words of kindness to you. I feel like she would encourage you.
Yeah.
And she would put you first, even if she was the one at that time that really needed more help. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. She did. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I get to a stage also where I'm noticing more things in nature, like beautiful butterflies.
That's very significant. Yeah.
Okay. And like the soil, the gardening, or I feel like she would have known. Can you take that? She would have known like what to put in the flower pot.
Yeah.
I feel like I see a flower that may look like, I don't know what it's called, but it may look like a tube. You know, a tube.
An orchid? An
No,
orchid? No.
I feel like something like a tulip upside down. That kind of yeah, I don't know what the
Trumpet
flower
flower,
is.
maybe? I'm not sure. Trumpet flower?
Something like the shape of that, yeah.
Okay.
Would that be important for her?
I'm probably was, but I'm not sure at this point.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Let me just see what else. And I feel that you may even have spent like a Christmas day or an important holiday celebration together.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
Let me go to message. I feel that she is thanking you for always being like her rock when you needed her, because I feel like you gave her strength and like upliftment. And when she was really battling and down, you always, like, just your presence put a smile on her face. And I feel that she was so grateful for that. And you encouraged her to believe. And I feel like I believe even more after having a chat with you. And you made it seem like more possible that if miracles can happen to other people, it can also happen to her, you know, in whatever way that it was supposed to mean or be for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just feel like I'm seeing like a glittery sparkle, like a star, you know, and I feel like she's just making reference to that.
Yeah.
To continue to believe. Yeah, so I leave her love with you.
Oh, thank you so much. That was my sister, and she did sparkle like a star. We both had connection with the stars. She did have healing hands. She was a awesome massage therapist and a Reiki master. We both did Reiki together for the healing. And she had given me this little like snow globe with an angel in it with the wings, and it was beautiful. She was all about angels too. I have a picture that I still cherish of us together on a Christmas in Florida, where we had jeans on and short sleeve t-shirts, and we went through the neighborhood singing Christmas carols and hanging out with the snowmen and the palm trees. So that was very significant. And she was just so kind to everybody. Her next door neighbor, she would always take food over or go check on her and make sure her and her boyfriend were okay, you know. So she was very, very kind, very giving, very loving. Thank you for that. That was awesome.
Beautiful job, Candice. But I actually have a question for you. And at one point in your reading, you said, I hear the song Wind Beneath My Wings, yet you have no radio playing in the background there that I can hear. So can you elaborate more on what you meant when you said that? You said you heard that song.
Yeah, I think it's with your sense clairaudience. So I think Spirit knows that I love music, and they brought that song to my awareness. I could hear that. So that's why I said that.
And that song was very significant because my son had sudden cardiac death. He died and was brought back. And that song was significant when that happened. And they played that at church when he came out of the coma after his death experience. So that was significant to us.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Out of all the songs in the world, and that's the one you hear, Candice. How about that?
That was awesome.
Phenomenal. All right. Well, thanks for that insight. All right. I'm going to see if I can grab a link here. And Who am I? Who? Effie, I'm being drawn to you, but if everyone would listen, I would appreciate it. I feel like I have a man here who would have been bilingual, okay, in that he spoke both English and French. So I feel like he either had a connection directly with France or the French part of Canada. I want to say that this man is on the taller, thinner side, maybe 5'11", 6 feet, right in that range. Good looking guy. And I also feel like he wore scarves in the wintertime that he would have like one part of it hanging down in the front, and then the other side would come across his shoulder or his neck, and it would go down the back. But that is the way that he would wear his scarf. So, do you happen to know a tall, handsome guy who spoke French and wore scarves?
Yeah, but I understand all that. This man is still living.
Still living. I got one of
Scars,
those.
scars are very significant with him and close
Okay.
friends.
All
Friends.
right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let me lean into him a bit more. So I feel like, first of all, this man is not a family member for you, correct? He's
Correct. Yeah.
further out. Okay.
Different.
All right. So somebody, for the benefit of our audience that's listening, apparently somebody wants to draw my attention to this guy to make me look at something else because there's a connection between these two people. So let's see who wants to talk about the handsome guy with the scarf. And then I have another man stepping in behind him who is not as tall as the guy with the scarf, but he's presenting at an older age, maybe 60-ish is where he's at right now. And one thing I noticed about this guy is his shoulders are a little on the rounded side, and he's got short but curly hair. Is that resonating at all? Somebody
Yes.
else? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, but this second man is in spirit, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So he's talking about the Frenchman. Let's see what the curly-haired guy wants to say. The curly-haired guy is also not family for you. He's further out.
Friend. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I want to say that the curly-haired man is a treasure trove of arcane knowledge. Would that make sense?
Yes.
That his the stuff that's upstairs in his brain, I'd say less than 0.1% of the population could even understand. Would that make
Yes.
sense? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I also feel that if you did not have that knowledge, that very specific knowledge that he has, he would have been a difficult man to have a conversation with. Would that make sense?
No.
No? Okay. All right. I just, like, he seems very, very intently focused on this stuff. I'm going to see if I can poke around up there and see what he's thinking about. So this seems to be what's going on up here, seems to be very much on the physics and engineering side. Would you understand that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I want to say that he wrote papers, papers that other people read, like dissertations and things
Yes.
like that. It makes sense. And I feel like he traveled for work. and he went to other countries in his travel. Would that make sense?
I know he had to go to Canada one time, but sometimes he had to travel.
Okay. All right. Hmm. I pick up just a little bit of tiny bit of intolerance with him, in the sense that he really did not deal with stupid people well. Would that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And it's funny because I think deep down he's a kind man, and he would have been one of these people who, when he walked in, like to the lobby of somebody's office, and there would be like a receptionist sitting there, he would actually be very kind to the receptionist
Yeah.
and
Yes, he was.
personable.
Yes,
Okay,
he was.
all right. But wait, but when it came to somebody who just like couldn't see the light, okay, and who he thought should have known better, he was a little intolerant.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see what else we can see about him. See why he's here. Right now, he's eating a snack out of a bag, some kind of like a little cellophane bag with a snack, and he's just popping it into his mouth. Did he snack?
I don't know.
Okay, it's kind of a weird thing, but I'll throw it out there because that's what I'm
Probably.
saying. But it's like yeah, the cellophane bag is a little weird. Um, it looks like a little bag of peanuts or something like this, and he's just popping these. Okay. Um, and so what he's saying is that there's a celebration coming up and congratulations are in order. Okay. Would that make sense?
I hope so.
Okay. All right. I want to delve into this. Okay. Celebration coming up. Congratulations are in order. All right. Tell me more. He's talking about a long fight. Um, there's been a fight going on, and
Hmm.
let's see. Says it's time to clean house.
Hmm.
That's okay. All right.
Hmm.
This is interesting. Okay. Time to clean house. And he's saying that it's going to happen like this. Okay. Okay. And that there's going to be a celebration, and congratulations are in order. So I'll leave you that with light and love. And thanks for letting me serve spirit. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I could tell when you said the person that's he would with the scarves, yes, very, very much. We're all like a trilogy there. And he was like the chief actuary of Canada of our team. And he was very, very, very intelligent. He didn't tolerate stupidity for people that would know that were intelligent too. He would just put them in their place.
oh, yeah.
Yes. Even executives, he just said it very bluntly.
Mhm.
He was very nice to the receptionist, very nice to the administrative assistants. Yeah, he was not that person. But he didn't put up with a lot. And because he was at a place where he was already retired and we needed someone, we brought him back. If we let him go, we let him go. He's, he's done, he was 65 years old. So he had this freedom, this luxury to share what his feelings, but not to the point where it was rude, but if you were at his level or you were someone that had their degrees, he would expect you to know this. So that's what we liked him. And he said things in a way that were humorous, but there was an underlying tone to
Oh,
it
yeah.
where you've been
Yeah.
here a long time. How do you
Mhm.
not know this? Or how do you vote for this person? And he would know everything. He just knew everything.
Yeah.
He knew everything out there. So yes, I can't say no more, actually.
Okay. All right. Well, if the big celebration happens, I hope you'll report that at a later date. So, but he
Yes.
seems pretty convinced that
We would talk every day, or maybe 3 or 4 times a week, because it was virtual. He lived in Ottawa. I lived in Toronto. So a lot of our conversations were like this. Every morning we would talk, and he would just be smiling with his scarf on too, and curly hair. And like, what's going on? I could see in the other screen that he was watching the football game and talking to me. And he was so transparent, but he could do it, but he was so intelligent. He could talk, he could watch and still work at the same time. He was very, very smart.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
Thank you.
Thank you for that. That's very interesting. I hope that the celebration and the
I
congratulations.
just remember I was so stressed. He was like, "Okay, what do you want me to get you for dinner? Steak?" I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, no problem." Just do it right there and then. It was just Uber me. A complete meal. And I go, "Wow." I go, "Okay, thank you." But I didn't even say I wanted this, right? So he was just that kind of man. He was very generous too, like that. Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
geez. Well, everyone, I think we had another great session here today, and I'm gonna thank our YouTube audience for joining us and ask them if they will join us in our closing prayer. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Thank you for this gift of mediumship that you have given us, and allow us to use this precious gift to help others who need your healing and love. Bless all of our friends and loved ones and protect them from sickness and harm. Bring joy into the lives of people who have sorrow, health into the lives of people who have illness, and abundance to the lives of people who have little. Thank you for the lessons that you've given us today, and help us to continue to build a relationship with you that is based on love and trust. And always, please help us to be the lights that change this world for the better. Amen. All right. Thank you, everybody on YouTube. We'll be streaming live same time next week. Hope to see you